In 2024, Klarna CEO went on a press tour to announce that the company's AI chatbot was doing the work of 700 employees. He froze hiring, cut staff, and decided that AI could do all of the jobs that we humans do. And Wall Street loved it. But by early 2025, customer service quality had dropped and problems started piling up. That same CEO went back on camera and admitted the company had focused too much on efficiency and that the result was lower quality, and that Klarna is now rehiring human agents. The thing is, they're not the only company doing this. According to Forrester's 2026 Future of Work report, 55% of employers now regret laying off workers because of AI. One of the world's largest business research firms, Gartner, projects that half of all companies that cut jobs for AI-related reasons will rehire people for similar roles by next year. IBM, Salesforce, Google, and Meta have all added back workers in new roles to manage the very systems that were supposed to replace them. Honestly, it seems that what a lot of companies misunderstood about this AI boom is that doing tasks is not the same thing as doing a job. And to be fair, it wasn't a crazy idea that AI was going to replace some workers. In a few-year time span, we saw AI could suddenly write emails, summarize documents, answer customer questions, generate code, and complete tasks that used to take employees hours to do. And none of this stuff was fake. You could literally see the software perform real work in real time. And if you're a CEO looking at payroll as your biggest expense, it's easy to see why so many believed cutting employees was the obvious move. And Wall Street loved it too because it meant higher earnings for companies. And if you were cutting jobs for AI, you looked like some modern tech company. And it was easy to see why AI looked like a direct path to lower costs and higher margins. The problem, once again, is that doing tasks and doing a job are not the same thing. A task is one thing a person does. Something like answering a question, writing an email, generating code, routing a support ticket. AI can do tasks, often very well and a lot of times better than a person. But a job is different. A job is dozens of tasks held together by judgment, context, accountability, and the ability to make decisions in a situation that doesn't fit a pattern. A customer service rep, they don't just answer questions. They read people's tones, they de-escalate, they make exceptions to the rules when the situation calls for it, and they protect the company's reputation in real time. A software engineer, they don't just write code. They design systems, they anticipate failure, they weigh trade-offs, and they take ownership when something breaks at 2 a.m. Replacing tasks turned out to be very straightforward, but replacing the judgment that connects those tasks into a functioning role turned out to be something else entirely. When you saw these AI systems start to break down, the failure tended to show up in 3 places. First, in customer service. AI handled simple requests efficiently, but it struggled the moment situations became outside of a specific pattern. It could answer routine questions, but it could not calm an angry customer, or negotiate an exception, or deal with weird, unusual edge cases. In some cases, it literally made things up or it hallucinated them. A big hallucination was when Air Canada's chatbot invented a refund policy that didn't exist. And the company went to court over this and they lost. Other companies started to pull back customer-facing AI tools as well after repeated errors and poor user experience. McDonald's abandoned its AI drive-thru system after 3 years of partnership with IBM when the technology kept making errors. I don't know if you guys remember, but there were a lot of viral videos back then where the AI would make weird stuff like adding bacon to ice cream or ringing up 260 chicken McNuggets. And in software engineering, the problems were a lot less visible, but they were a lot more expensive. AI could generate boilerplate code quickly, but it also introduced bugs, insecure code, and it was very confident in making mistakes that looked correct until production systems broke. So yes, it was useful for speeding up routine work, but architecture, debugging, security review, and ownership still required experienced engineers. And many firms learned that giving weaker teams AI tools did not automatically create stronger teams. In content and operations, the same pattern emerged. AI could produce drafts instantly, but much of the output was generic, repetitive, or just factually wrong. There were a lot of hallucinated claims in the content, and that created real legal and reputational risk. And you needed heavy editing of everything to make sure it's all legit. And a lot of the times, that took more work than if you just had a real team do it instead. So companies expecting full replacement with AI, they discovered they had just moved the labor of their workers from creation to cleanup. The mistake, it wasn't just believing AI could replace the job, it was believing that removing people removed all the cost. Because in reality, a lot of those costs just came back in different forms. AI outputs had to be reviewed. Someone still needed to verify that the chatbot gave correct answers, that the code was secure, and that the marketing is on brand. And a lot of errors created quality control costs. Hallucinations created legal and compliance risk. And frustrated customers who couldn't reach a real person, they created churn for a business when they would take their own business somewhere else. Public failures created reputational risk, and when companies needed humans again, they faced the cost of rehiring, retraining, and rebuilding the institutional knowledge they had already let go. There's enough data now where we're starting to see a trend that a lot of companies that rushed into AI layoffs are discovering they still need people, just in different roles. In customer service, for example, firms that expected AI to replace agents are instead keeping staff in place while using AI to handle routine volume and letting humans focus on complex cases. Across industries, more decision makers now expect AI to increase their headcount, not reduce it. And when firms are hiring people back, it doesn't always look like a simple reversal. Sometimes it means bringing back support staff, but other times it means adding new roles that barely existed a few years ago. Roles like people who review AI outputs, manage workflows, monitor risk, and govern how these systems are used. 42% of organizations are actively recruiting for these positions, and demand for AI governance skills is up 150%. These jobs exist for one reason. Companies learned that deploying AI without human oversight creates more problems than it solves. And that's the pattern emerging across the economy. Businesses that fired people to implement AI are now hiring people to manage AI. The titles may be different and the organizational chart may be a lot leaner, but human labor is returning because full replacement turned out to be the wrong strategy. And I really want to touch on something I hear a lot of people talk about, which is AI is not eliminating software engineering. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects 17% job growth through 2033. That's over 300,000 new positions, but AI is changing what the jobs look like. Companies, they need fewer people for routine tasks like simple code, basic debugging, and documentation because AI can now assist with a lot of that work. And entry-level developer postings have dropped significantly, between 20% and 60%, depending on the measure in the market. At the same time, demand for experienced engineers remains really strong. Companies are paying 20 to 40% premiums for deep expertise in machine learning, cloud architecture, security, and DevOps. And as AI becomes more common, companies need people who can design systems, review outputs, security infrastructure, and more than anything, take responsibility when something breaks. The shift isn't from engineers to AI, it's from engineers who don't use AI to engineers who do, with an even bigger premium on judgment, architecture, and accountability. Look, at the end of the day, AI can write code, but it can't take responsibility for outcomes. Now, we've talked a lot about how AI complete replacement kind of failed, but I want to be clear, the technology itself is very real, and dismissing it would be just as wrong as overhyping it. AI is genuinely useful at tasks that support human work rather than replace it. It can generate strong first drafts, summarize large amounts of information, handle repetitive admin work, assist with coding, search across large data sets, and it can help routine customer requests a lot more efficiently. It's really good as like a force multiplier, and that's what a lot of the data now suggests as well. PwC's 2025 Global AI Jobs Barometer, based on analysis of nearly 1 billion job postings across 6 continents, found that industries most exposed to AI are seeing 3 times higher revenue growth per employee than the least exposed. And it's not because these firms are firing people. It's because they're giving their people better tools. The technology works, but the expectations around it were wrong. What's happening now? It follows a pattern we've seen with almost every major technological shift. A new tool appears, markets immediately price in total disruption, and companies start implementing based on what the technology might become rather than what it can reliably do today. Then reality sets in. The final outcome is usually not that the technology replaces people, and it's usually not that the technology completely fails. It's that the best organizations learn how to combine the two. We've seen this before with the internet. The internet was supposed to replace all retail shopping, but it didn't. It just changed it. ATMs were supposed to erase all bank tellers, but they didn't. They just kind of changed what bank tellers did. And spreadsheets, they didn't replace accountants. They just made accountants more productive. Now, obviously, new technology does sometimes erase entire job industries. When cars were created, no one's buying a horse from you to travel anymore. And AI is and will continue to replace certain jobs, especially ones that are extremely task repetitive and don't really rely on human judgment at all. But most people's jobs are not one repetitive task. Their judgment, accountability, relationships, context, and problem solving layered on top of routine work. And that's why a lot of companies are now learning that the real value of AI is not about firing good workers, it's about using the tech to make good workers dramatically more effective.